Hello fellow YouTubers, Bear Prepper here. I told you when we making the feta, as you see, the feta is still draining. You can hear it. Sorry, but that's what you're going to hear. So we can make it with the whey. So I'm going to show you how to make it with the whey. So what I have here is all of the whey, at least 2 gallons. And it's 1 quart to 2 gallons, if that helps you decide how much you need. I've got 1 quart of milk I mixed up from dry. It's just a regular recipe of milk for whole milk. And I'm going to pour it in here and heat this to 195 to 200 degrees. Yeah, it's still boiling, but I can't resist. Look at that beautiful yogurt. Look how thick that is. That's my homemade Greek yogurt. That's not strained either. That's straight out of the machine. So I'm going to take it. I think you can see that. And I'm going to take my little berries and toss them over. And that is dessert. Isn't that wonderful? You can even take a teaspoon of vanilla. I'm going to duck under here, because I got to go get some. Take yourself take yourself a teaspoon of vanilla or maple syrup and just drizzle it over the top. Don't try to mix in your flavorings. A lot of times it'll make it too liquidy. So, there you go. Let's get back to our cheese, our ricotta. Okay, it's at about 110, 115 degrees, and we're going up to 200. Please remember, stir it frequently because it will burn, and do not let it boil. Once it starts to separate, take it off of the heat and let it sit for 10 minutes. Don't let it boil. So we have just hit 200. Which is the boiling point, and it says stir and keep it until the curd starts to break. And so I'm looking at it, and I'm just starting to see curd separate in there. So we should be really close to being able to turn it off and set it aside for 10 minutes. Not as much curd as I would have hoped, but it was whey you were going to throw away, and a quart of milk. Not too shabby. So we are going to go ahead and turn it off because it's starting to go to a boil. And I don't want to boil my cheese. I'm just trying to get the curd to separate. Come on, slow down. Boy, once it gets kicking, it's really hard to stop it. It would help if I had a pot holder. There you go. You can see a little bit of curd in there. We won't know for sure until we let it cool down just how much we have. See there? A little bit of foam on the top. Okay, so remove from heat, and we're going to let it sit for 10 to 30 minutes and see what we come up with. So now we're going to add our rennet. Rennet is something you should keep in your freezer. If you buy the grocery store rennet, you're not going to be able to make a lot of the cheeses. And they say it doesn't have a shelf life, but it does. So I buy the rennet at the cheese store, beer, wine store. It's real rennet. And you keep it in your freezer. And so what we're going to do is we're going to dissolve a half of one of these tablets, if I can ever get it out. Nice big knife to do that with. All right. So I have a 1/4 cup of cold, cool water, and I'm going to put in a 1/2 tablet of rennet. All right, once again, we have our famous bowl. It tells you to spoon it out, but I'm sorry, folks, it's ricotta. It's very, very creamy and thin. So pour it in, and it is going to take a long time for it to drain. Just make sure you get it all in the cheesecloth. And we got some curds down there, but not a whole lot. Look, ricotta is kind of very, very soft cheese. So we will let this drain, and we will show you how much we have when we're done. Like that. Stretch out here. We'll make some ricotta. I almost forgot. I put some salt in there. And I'm going to put some Greek oregano because I love ricotta with oregano in it. And as this settles through, it will moisten the oregano and land it into your ricotta. And there we have it. Wonderful ricotta cheese. Isn't that beautiful? Folks, learn how to make your ricotta with your leftover whey. A little salt, a little oregano. Oh, that is just heavenly. Good. Better than store-bought and made from your food storage. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and make our pasta meal with ricotta, our homemade ricotta. Here we go. It's right there. I'm going to get me a spoon. And I've sprayed the pan with some olive oil and a little bit of melted butter. And I am going to pour in my noodles. Now, you can make many layers of this, your choice, a single layer or multiple layers. I've used my homemade pasta and some spiral just to help catch it, the cheese, so it doesn't flow down. And you got to cook these at different times if you're going to do multiples like this, because your homemade pasta will cook much quicker. So now I'm going to take the bacon, and I'm just going to break bacon up over the top. We're going to be mixing it all in. Now, if you're going to layer, then you want to go ahead and put some noodles down, put some bacon down, put some cheese down, or ricotta, that's what I mean. And then just continue with those layers. We are simply going to stir this up rather than layers. Didn't think I'd have enough cheese for more than one layer, and the small pan was a little too small, and the big pan was a little too big, so. And make sure you include that good old bacon grease that's left over, because that'll give it some nice flavor. I'm going to get my pasta stirrer here. I'm going to pour some bacon grease in. And we're going to stir it up. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to put some ricotta in there. And if you're doing it like this, just do clumps of it because it's going to melt with the heat of the pasta. Let's see what we got here, see if that's enough. We're just going to stir it in. Get it nice and coated with your homemade ricotta. I think one more little bit. I'll save the rest for a souffle. A lot of people like to put green olives in this. You can do that if you like that tang. I'm going to just put some salt and pepper. Not much because you cook the pasta in some good amount of salt. Nice pepper. And let's put a little bit of my dried Greek oregano. Give it some color and some more dimension. Maybe a teaspoon and a half in what I'm doing. And I think I have 10 slices of bacon and probably a cup and a half of ricotta. Get that all mixed up. Now we're going to top it with just a little bit of Parmesan cheese. If you have it. If you don't have it, don't worry. That's pretty easy to make. And I have a video on that. And we're going to bake this at 350 for 20 minutes, uncovered. Okay, one of the things I like to do is I like to take these rolls, cut them in half. They're, you know, a foot long. Put some butter and garlic, salt on them or garlic on them. Close them up and wrap them in foil. Then when I have a pasta dish or something and I want some garlic bread, I just throw it in the oven frozen. It thaws and cooks up really nice. So as you can see, the ricotta melted a little bit. We have the two pastas. The one pasta holds it. Bacon got a little crisper. Let's give it a try. That is wonderful, fresh ricotta. And it goes great with the bacon. So I hope you give this a try. Make yourself some fresh ricotta from powdered milk. Blessings.